Here we go. Oh, it's the gas light is on, but hopefully we're good. The strangest thing on this test ride, they've got a cheerleader event going on at the same time as the Progressive International Motorcycle Show. It's the weirdest blend of people I think you could ever imagine. Okay, maybe not ever imagine, but you get what I'm saying. But guys, we're on the Iron 1200. It starts off at 10 grand. It's 1200cc V-twin air-cooled engine. And this was one of my first Harleys. I had a Sportster 883R, which is like the roadster version. And I had an Iron 883, and that was the special edition. This car's like, what the hell is going on? So you got standard Harley controls. You got the blinkers both on the left and the right. You got the horn and the trip toggle here on the left, as well as your low beams and high beams. And you've got your hazards, your ignition switch on the right, and your power switch on the right as well. And that is it. It's bare bones with the Iron, and that's what I've always loved about this bike. I mean, you can see my hand shaking right now, I think, if I get back far enough. And that's just the nature of the Iron and most of the Sportster models. I believe the Evolution engine is a rubber mounted engine, so I mean, it's just, you know, there's no counterbalancing, so that's just what you get. And it's, you know, like I said, the 883R was one of the first bikes that I had, and so that rumble, that engine vibration is just, it's just kind of what I'm used to, and I love it. I've heard some guys mention like, oh, I don't like the Harleys, because they, you know, some of these guys who are not Harley riders test rode some Harleys because, you know, they're available, and they didn't like it. And it's understandable. If you're not used to this engine vibration, yeah, it's gonna shake you. Cancel my turn signal there. Somebody lost their hat. So yeah, the Harley-Davidson Iron is one of the few Sportsters that are still available. The 48 special is no longer available, so all you can get is the just standard 48. And then you've got the Roadster. They really cut them down for 2020. You know, I don't know how popular the Sportsters are anymore, but I love Sportsters. And, you know, I had ridden 883s, and I was just ready to graduate when I got my Fat Bob. It was because, you know, I wanted 6 gears, I wanted a little bit more power, and jumping from the 883 to the Fat Bob was a nice choice. But the 1200, even though it still only has five speeds, it gets on it, and it's a decent amount of power. And it's but the thing is if you're looking to graduate from an 883 Iron to a 1200, the graduation might seem a little too gradual. You know, you might not feel like you're getting a whole lot more out of a bike than you would just getting than just getting, for now we're talking about like graduating to a soft tail. And I would highly recommend the Fat Bob, the new soft tail Fat Bob, if you're graduating from a Sportster. Awesome bike. So we've got a beautiful backdrop here as the sun is setting in Long Beach, California, and we're gonna test the acceleration here. We're gonna test the lean angle, which I'll put up on the screen here for you so you can see how well you can lean over. And we're just, you know, what did I ride earlier? And we actually got the peg on the ground. Oh, it was the Scout Bobber. So this is similar to that bike in that we've got the little mini apes here. The Scout Bobber has, I think, the Scout Bobber 20 had the forward control. So this has the mid controls, which is very comfortable, especially for a guy like me who's 5'6" with a 30-inch inseam. You know, I'm a shorter guy, so this bike is a really good fit for me. All right. So that was nice. This seat is very comfortable. So hats off to Harley for making a nice stock seat for the Iron 1200. Yeah, and like I said before, this bike has a lot of power. You know, you hit a couple of bumps there and I feel like I was gonna bounce off my seat. I mean, so there is that, but it's a Harley and it's a Sportster. This isn't all about the, you know, the comfort. Oh, that was where I wanted to go. I'm going the wrong way. And we're gonna have to find our way back. How do we get back? Can I just go the other way? That's a one-way. What if I go right here? I don't believe this is gonna get me back. Oh boy. All right, let's try and stay focused and review this bike. Let's see, is this good? 710, that's where we wanted to go. Okay, this should put us back where we wanted to be. Okay, so the Sportster. So yeah, it was very nice there on that kind of wide sweeping high-speed turn. Brakes are good, you know, got a little squeakage there. But yeah, the brakes are nice.
A few moments later.
So we're gonna take a little slow speed turn, see how she does. Nice. Okay. Yeah. It's pretty good. Now we're gonna have to dip over here to get back where we need to go. And that wasn't such a bad detour. I don't feel so bad. Another slow speed turn. Acceleration is decent. And again, if you're not used to a Harley, it's gonna feel like you're rattling off the bike, but I love it. Turn signals there that cancel themselves, looks like. Which I've always loved about my Harleys. Let's see how the brakes do here on the fast stop. Yeah, some nice breakage there. Very decent. I believe on the Iron 1200 that you can get ABS as an option. I know that you could on the 48 Special. I don't know about the Iron 1200. I'll put that here, obviously, if that is not accurate and you cannot get ABS. But yeah, very, you know, if you're a taller guy, riding this bike might be a little cramped. But for me, I mean, this is very, very comfortable. And I would say it's more comfortable than the Scout Bobber 20. You know, I don't mind having my feet up front. You know, I rode that way for years on my Fat Bob, but having it here in the middle and in this riding position just feels right. Again, if you're a taller guy, probably don't agree with that. Yeah, the suspension here, along with this really nice seat, makes for a pretty comfortable ride here in that little bumpy, potholey road at slow speeds. You know, we only had that short stint there at higher speeds, and it felt pretty good there as well. It's just that if you hit a big bump, yeah, I mean, it's very rigid, so got to be careful there. Probably want to lift up off the seat if you know it's coming. But throttle response is very manageable. I mean, I would definitely, you know, and maybe this is why they're going away from the 883, because this 1200, this has 5 speeds. When the throttle response here is very gradual, it's very linear, so yeah, I'm not worried that a new rider, if they got on this bike, would, you know, it would be overwhelming the power. And I don't think overwhelming power is the way anyone would describe a Sportster. So yeah, you're good. If you're considering the Sportster for your first bike, the Iron 1200, yeah, I don't think you have anything to be afraid of. Obviously, it's going to have more power than the bikes that you rode at your like beginner course that you learned to ride on. But I mean, this would be a nice starter bike, I think. Because as much as it can get on it a little bit when you want to, it's also very, very manageable, very, very linear power. But guys, if you have any questions about the Iron 1200 from Harley-Davidson, this is the 2020 model, make sure you leave it in the comments. I'll do my best to answer any questions that I didn't talk about during this test ride / review. And if I can't answer them, I'm sure that there'll be somebody that can. I will have the full specs for this bike also in the description. So if you want to know more about the Iron 1200, it will be there, and you can go straight to Harley-Davidson's page. Like I said, I owned an Iron 883, and this really takes me back. I enjoy riding the Sportsters. It'll be sad because I'm sure that they're on their way out to see them go, but I would love to see Harley make an attempt at something like the FTR 1200 that Indians come out with, because that was probably one of my favorite bikes that I've ridden here at this demo event at the 2019 Long Beach Progressive International Motorcycle Show. That is a mouthful. But guys, here we are riding into the sunset. It is the end of this ride. If you enjoyed this video, or if you found it helpful, make sure you hit a thumbs up down there, which is the like button. Oh, yeah, killing me. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. I post videos 3 days a week, so there is not a lack of content here on my channel. Hi guys, if you're out there riding, be safe. And if you're not riding, get riding. I'm that one guy, and I am out.